What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. We're going to be doing a follow-up mod to my Demko AD20.5. Let's get into it. All right, so what we're going to be doing today, if you tuned in to the last mod that I did on this knife, and this knife, man, it has been through some stuff. We did the scales from Carbonized on Instagram. You got to hit him up on Instagram. He doesn't have a store. He does this on the side, so he may be a little slow to respond, but he's the only place that I've seen where you can get fat carbon, camo carbon, Gmascus, micarta scales for the larger pivot size. I'm waiting for Rips and Original Goat and companies that make these for a living to offer these, because I get asked all the time. And again, I know Carbonize Spencer, he's a very nice guy, but you know, he's doing this on the side on top of a full-time job, so it's a little bit much, I feel like, for him to do that. But the scales came out beautiful. I did the 80s, and then I bought the Lynch Northwest clip that I anodized myself to kind of add, you know, a little bit of pop to the green. It doesn't show as well on the camera, unfortunately. BGM for the regrind. Unfortunately, for anyone that doesn't now, inflation has hit, and he's charging just, you know, $10 more than he used to. But for some people, $70 for a regrind may be expensive, but I think it's more than fair. You get like a factory finish on here, very professional looking, and it's a super deep hollow grind that he's able to add to these. It turns it into a laser beam. I also picked up from I think Knife Center has a company I've never heard of before that has these titanium standoffs. They may be more widely available by now, but this has been through a lot, is my point. And in my last mod video, most recent to this one, because I don't know where we are in the future, I added these magnets for the detent. And while it did have an effect, for sure, it is definitely influencing how the knife is retained, and it's hard to demonstrate on camera, but the magnets, you know, they're doing a decent job of keeping them, the blade in place. And honestly, I feel like if it would show up on camera, maybe if I use the flashlight, it'll help. If it showed up on camera, I think you might be able to see that it's just barely on the blade. So like it's hitting, probably going to need to charge that soon. It's hitting the blade. Where are they? They're right here. So it's hitting the blade right about here. On the hollow grind, it's not as grabby as I think it could be in my mind. So what we're going to do real quick, I'm going to skip to where we're set up for the disassembly for this. And now that we're here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it apart from one side to show you kind of where the magnet's hitting from the other side. I think if you had no regrind on here, where I have these magnets set up, I think are going to be good enough. And I wish I would have done this in the original video. I have Weehaw bits. This is all linked down below. Once the video posts, I think I'm still able to add a comment with a link. YouTube has changed that. I don't know if they allow that anymore, but it definitely will be linked in the description of the video, the magnets for this. I need to actually go back today when we're done here and add that link to the video, because people have asked me and I totally blanked about adding the magnets in there. I did try the magnets I ordered later. I don't know what I did with them, guys. Oh, here they are. I was like, I set them aside for this video and I have lost track of them because I've done so much recording. So these magnets here, the VS Kiz, these are actually stronger than the rare earth magnets. When I tested them, I pulled them out and just tested it on the blade steel, like deploying it and testing it, and these felt just a little bit stronger. So these are the ones that I'm going to link down below. I'm keeping both just in case, you know, future projects people are like, can you do it on a crossbar locking knife? I'll have to look. But let's dive in here. T6 for the hardware. Weehaw bits, again, linked down below. I like Weehaw bits. They seem to hold up longer to wear and tear, and I do appreciate that because I don't want them to strip easily. I want them to lock in to the T6s, especially to not come out. This one has enough hardware where I always try to recommend to folks not to over tighten these because you can strip them. I mean, you got 6 total in the back. That's going to be plenty. You just want to snug them down, and then you got a nice pivot collar on here with a decently sized pivot bolt. That's one of the reasons why I like this knife, because I feel like it is truly set up to be, hard use for EDC. So I'm going to close it now. I didn't demonstrate this, and I do apologize in the video. So you can see what I mean here. It's just barely catching on the edge of the blade here, and with it not locked down and fastened, the magnet is grabbing it and pulling it. What I think I want to do today is I'm going to move these. Let me see if I can get this out to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these. It's going to pull the stop pin out. It does this every time. Hold on. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to disassemble these with the liners. But you just got to wiggle it. And I have big hands, so I have the hardest time doing this. But you just want to wiggle it up. Be careful if you do anything like this. Yeah, just pull the stop pin with it. Let's pop that out. Which I do like, the tight tolerances. Make sure that it's not. Oop, it fell. Trying to. Probably should just move the blade. Did that go behind the? Please tell me it went behind the. Yeah, it did. Thankfully, it went behind the blind here. But what I'm going to do, here, let me demonstrate that again. What I'm going to do, let me put this over here too, is I'm going to move the magnet all the way up to the top of this piece right here. And what I think will happen, let me move this out of the way because it'll help. I think it'll take it from stopping. I lost track of the stop point. Sorry, guys. It'll take it from. Is this the stop? It'll take it from stopping on the blade here to there. I think that little bit of difference from there to there is going to be huge. What I want to refrain from doing is I want to refrain from having to modify the liner any. I don't want to do that. That's not the goal of this. The goal is to make this easy to do still. So let me go ahead and get into that. All right, so took a little bit longer than intended. I kind of did a little bit of a bonehead move in installing them closer to the back than the front, so you might be able to see a little bit of mess in there, and I may clean it up a little bit more down the road in a future disassembly, but I'm already 40 minutes into this because I messed up. So I'm trying to just get this done so I can show you guys what I wanted to try to accomplish today. They came off cleanly the first time, but then after I cleaned it and I realized I moved it towards the spine, I realized I just completely messed up. So I did want to demonstrate up close, which is why I haven't completed the disassembly. As you can see, they are now closer to the base as far as I can get it forward. And I went ahead and put a fresh set of magnets on here. This is all the old glue that came off. But my hope is that by it moving forward and closing, when it's locked down, is now I'm at least halfway on the magnet, and I think that'll improve the detent. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the reassembly. Go ahead and get the spring in place. Oop, slipped right on out of there, huh? These springs are really nice. Really happy with that. So we're going to go ahead and just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'd hate to get the knife reassembled and have missed something. I'm going to go ahead and try to wiggle that down into place. There we go. There we go. Everything is seated nicely. I did put fresh lube and everything on since I had it apart again anyway. So let's go ahead and get that on. Yeah, drop right in. T8, we'll get the pivot going. Can't wait to check this out to see if it made a difference from the first video. Again, if you have the full grind and not the hollow grind like me, it may not make a difference. This just could be for people with the hollow grind. You can check your clearance by placing the magnet on against the scale like I did there without the glue. It may want to pop towards the blade, but you should be able to kind of manipulate it and get it to sit like it would if it were closed. Why does it feel like this bent? Did I lean on this? Or is it just me? Hold on, maybe it's just me. It might be just me. I was like, it feels like it's bent a little bit. I don't remember leaning on it, but we'll check here in a second. No, it's just me. Just me. All right, nice and snug. I'm just going to check them all. Make sure. I think I did a good job with these. Yeah, these feel good. Yeah, they didn't move. Nope, they didn't move. All right, so let me check the centering. Dead center. Let me check the play. No play. Drop and shut. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a difference. 100%. Oh, yeah, way stronger like this. More of the magnet on the blade, at least for the sheep, what do they call it? Shark foot shape. Wow. Now, the lock does push when you pull it. You see how it kind of pushes, but you see how the magnets are pulling it back? Wow, that's a big difference. All right, now the other thing that I was very curious about, see if I can tell by the naked eye. No, the blade is not making contact. So the two things that I were worried about is, would it make a difference? And it did. It is much stronger this way, guys. So I'm going to put this up, and I'm hoping people that watch it pay attention to the second one. For the shark's foot, I would definitely say it's worthwhile checking, putting it closer to the scales here, towards the front of the knife. The magnets are kind of, I wonder if I can get this to feel sticky there. The magnets are sitting right here. I'll lose magnetation. Yeah, see how it pulls it wants to pull the screw there. So the magnets are kind of, and it's not strong enough through the scale, unfortunately, but that's where the magnets are pulling, and that's a huge difference. I got no play, I don't think. I think it can go actually just a smidge more. A little bit of play. Wow, yeah, that's a big old difference. All right, I'll get this one posted up. I hope this, guys, helps you. It should be very easy if you're competent at all with tools. It's really just taking the scale and the liners off. You're marking your liners for your magnets, and they, put them as close and as tight as you can to that. What I did with the second one is I stood the magnet. Here, I'll demonstrate. I'll grab the weak ones. I took the magnet on the scale and I stood it on the scale like this. Oop, the magnet is going to try to pull towards the blade. And then I dabbed a little bit of glue on there, and then I just really slowly tipped it over and held it in place. And I pushed it all over just a little bit so that it had a little bit of clearance. And then as soon as it sat for a second, I pulled the scale off. But you just got to be careful with that because you don't want to glue your scale to the liner. It may be just better that you mark it, and then where you mark it with the marker, just make sure you can see like a little hint of the Sharpie above the magnet where you glue it. And it just took a little bit of the super glue, and it's a It's a huge difference. Yeah, it's a huge difference both in the factory detent and how the detent now feels on this. It actually feels almost like it does with a strong detent ball. That's crazy. That is awesome. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, comments, and is subscribed. I love you guys. I hope you have a let me just start. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, the comments, that is subscribed. I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic week, and until next time, peace.